Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to do something really cool. We're going to do a Ficus root over rock mini bonsai. I know it sounds like a mouthful, but believe me, it's super easy and it's really cool. In fact, I have a video that I did before about it, but I just mentioned it very briefly. This is one that I have and it's a little bit more advanced, as we can see. And we can see that it's a little ficus that's obviously already infused, or at least it's hugging, it's grasping onto the rock. Right, so we're going to do something very similar to this today, and it will be very easy. We have another one right here. Sorry about the pot, very high quality pot, but as we can see, it's a very good reason why sometimes ficus are called strangling plants in their different native languages where they grow, and it's because they grab on to the rocks or crevices on the ground or walls or whatever. So we can see that this is another one and it's doing very good. What I'm using is a variety called Ficus microcarpa. Sometimes this is called tiger bark because of, I don't know if you can see, but those little white streaks that we can see across the little trunk. So yeah, they call it tiger bark. So what we're going to do is something very similar to this, and for that we have this one right here. Okay, so this is another one that I'm not going to grow over a rock, but I'm showing you this because we're actually going to use one of these little cuttings that I have in this pot. Yeah, I think we're going to use this one just because it's a bit more advanced, it's bigger. This one it can definitely grow a little bit more. And this one because it's, you know, it most definitely has a nice root system, right? So yeah, this is what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this out of the pot, very carefully, of course. We go like this, trying not to make a mess and failing miserably. But yeah, here we can see that we have very nice roots. Now, what I did here was I just stuck this little cutting into the soil, and I can see that that wasn't a very good idea. That wasn't a very good idea because, as you can see, we have a ton of feeder roots, but we also have tap roots that are not very useful. But anyway, we'll see what we can do with them. Okay, so here we have our little seedling or cutting or sapling, however you want to call it. And this is what we're going to use. I can see right now that this root will not be usable. We won't be able to use it. Just because it's growing in a very funny angle, it goes like this, right? So yeah, we're not going to use it. Let me just get my pruners, and then we will continue with this video. Okay, so we're back. I got my pruners at the ready, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this little root right here. Okay, it's gone now. And don't worry, autumn is a very good time of the year to do this because the trees are very active. They're, they're doing the last thing they can before they go to sleep, or they go dormant in the winter. So there we go. This is our little plant that we're going to use. It's rather big. It's rather big actually. Look, we've got some aerial roots here, so it'll be nice. Okay, so we got that. We can move this out of the way. And what we're going to use is this little pot, this little container with soil. I got some leftover soil that I used the other day. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to use. We're also going to use this rock right here. Look at this rock. It's beautiful, isn't it? Look at the different little colors, bluish tones. right? So this will be a very good rock to use in this little project. So we place the rock like this in the planting angle that we want. In fact, we don't need to place it right now, because what we're going to do is we're going to join this little plant to the actual rock. So I can see right now that there are a couple of ridges that we can use through which the plant can send out its roots. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're looking for an angle that we can use so the plant can sit on top. So you see how we have a little ridge right here? This root can actually go in that little ridge like that. Okay, so we got a B right there, and there we go. You see this? We place it so the roots sit nice and snug there, right? So that's our planting angle, or at least how we're going to plant the little sapling. Now, in order to leave it in position, we're going to use these little plastic knots. This is something that we get when we buy, I don't know, like a loaf of bread or something like that. This is what we're going to use. So we join them together, and these are perfect to leave our little plant in place, right? So we put them like this. Now we got a long one. So let's see. Put a little plant where we want it. In this case, sitting on the rock like this. And we just proceed to tie it. Not very firmly, actually. Not very firmly. But, you know, not very loosely either. Okay, so we're back. And here we have the finished product. So this isn't glamorous by any means, but look, we managed to get the little sapling or the little plant attached, and we've also got these little roots that are going to go all the way down to the soil, and they will thicken in the future. So it will help us to further grasp the rock, or further place this into position so that it doesn't move or anything like that. Okay, so we're gonna place this in the soil, in the little pot. And the other thing that we have is this little piece of plastic bottle. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna place it here inside like this, and this is gonna be completely filled with soil so that we can, you know, promote the growth of those little roots. Alright, I'm just gonna place this in the center so we can have more room where we can add our soil. This is just leftover soil that I had the other day from a transplant. So you can use whatever you want, really. And if this was a plant that has very delicate roots, it will be a good idea to have this little plastic piece to be dark, because some roots don't like sunlight, or any light for that matter. But with ficus we can use whatever we want. Okay, it doesn't matter. So there we go. So we can see that our little plant is ready. And that's it. Okay. Finished. Okay. Don't worry if this is looking a little bit funny. A little funny because it's going in that direction. Because we can prune this and then we'll get to have a little S shape that's going to look very, very cool. Okay. So let's take one last look. We can see that we have a mess, but it's a beautiful mess, like Jason Mraz says, right? Sorry, guys. Anyway, so yeah, we can see that plant is in position, it's looking healthy. Roots will grow downwards, and as they do, as they thicken, they will hold on to the rock, and then we will be able to remove this in a couple of months. Okay, so another thing that some professionals do is that the first few weeks they would water this whole thing through here, okay, in this part of the pot or the container. But then after a couple of weeks, then they'll move on and they will continue to water it here. That's what we can do in order to encourage the roots to go down looking for water and nutrients. So that's something that naturally occurs. It happens in nature as well. Okay, so I think that will be it for today. I will give you an update on this little tree in the future. But in the meantime, I think that will be it. If you have any questions, comments, anything, I'll be glad to hear them. Please drop them down below. Okay, so see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye.